Happy Tuesday, students and parents. We are back again with another video. And this week, I wanted to focus on the topic of utilizing our time throughout our day well. Utilizing our time throughout our day well. So I want to start off with a joke just to kind of lighten up the mood a little bit. A little timely joke, if you will. And the joke goes like this. What do you call a tense clock? What do you call a tense clock? I'll give you a second to think about what it might be. What do you call a tense clock? And the answer is all wound up. That's right. A tense clock is all wound up. Get it? Because you wind a clock? Okay, I know. Bad joke. Anyways, I figured today would be a good time to talk about how to utilize our day well and give you some practical strategies for what that might look like, how we can take our day and ultimately use it for the glory of God. Now, a good scriptural reference that I kind of want to frame everything that we're going to talk about today with is James 4, verses 13 through 15. And it says this, "Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that." So I thought to myself, okay, what are some practical things that have been really helpful for me as I approach a day to say, how can I not worry about tomorrow? How can I not worry about yesterday, but instead focus on today and glorifying God with today? And I thought of three specific things. The first one is to divide my day into manageable chunks, right? So rather than looking at it as a 24-hour day and trying to navigate everything in there, instead kind of breaking it down into divisions and saying, okay, I have this amount of time till lunch, and then after lunch I have this amount of time until I go home, and then in the evening I have this amount of time to do the stuff then, and trying to think about it that way. And even within those chunks, right, even between the morning and the afternoon and the evening, taking the activities or the things that have to get done as they come. So oftentimes I'll take one thing and I'll say, okay, I need to get this thing done. Let me focus on this, focus on it well, and then I'll move on to the next thing. So for example, for students, you might have a class, and you might have math class, and rather than worrying about the class that's ahead and saying, you know what, math class is an important class. I'm going to focus well on math, and then the next class, I'll focus on that one. The second piece of wisdom that I want to offer is to think, how can I most glorify God through this specific activity? Right? How can I glorify God through this specific activity, this specific thing that I'm doing right now? Thinking about what is going to most please God through how I respond to what I'm currently doing. And again, when you break it up into chunks, it's not too much. Like, it's not too burdensome. If you say that, okay, this is the one thing I have to worry about right now. We'll take math class again, for example. Math class is the focus. Let me get through math class. As you're in math class, think, okay, what is going to most glorify God as I work in math class? Right? You put the distractions to the side. You say, what's going to most honor and glorify God as I focus on math class? So that's the second thing. What's going to most honor and glorify God, and how can I approach it that way? And then the third and final thing, and truthfully for me, like, this is the most important, is to focus on the day at hand, right? We see in James, that's kind of what he's saying. He's saying, don't worry about tomorrow, worry about today, right? He's talking about people coming to a town and saying, okay, we need to go in and we're going to maybe spend a year, maybe 2 years there. We're going to make this money. He's saying, stop worrying about that sort of stuff. You don't even necessarily know that you'll be here in a year. Let's focus on today, focus on what you can handle right now, and glorify God through that. And that's what's going to most honor and glorify Him. Now, are there things that we do need to think a little bit ahead towards? Yes, of course, right? We plan our schedules to make sure that we can, we don't have all these overlapping activities. There's wisdom in saving money and whatnot. However, there's also wisdom in ensuring that we are utilizing our resources presently in the best way possible, right? That we are honestly honoring and glorifying God in the present and not dwelling completely on the future or worrying about that. So again, my final encouragement to you all would be, take today, divide it into manageable chunks, right? Think about within those chunks, how can I most glorify God in this time that I'm living right now? And then at the same time, just worry about today, right? The anxieties about tomorrow, the anxieties about a week from now, a year from now, questions about what's it going to look like? Where am I going to be at? What school am I going to attend? What are my friendships going to look like? Don't worry about those. take today as it is. Take today as it comes and focus on that. And I promise if we do that, right, if we think about it with that mindset and try to approach it in that way, not only will we be able to be more at peace with the life we're living, be more at rest with the decisions we're making, we'll also honor and glorify God more. And we'll see our anxiety reduced and our worries lessen. So take those as you will and try to apply those to your life today. I'm going to try and apply those to my life today and continue to walk in that. Anyways, hope you guys have a blessed Tuesday, and I will talk to you again soon.